One of the things that I wanted to point out here, Kurt, is you haven't had a lot of interaction with Brock after the Rumble. Did you agree with that creative decision?
I felt like Brock and I were such big names. Even him, when he started in the company, they protected him so much and they made him into an animal. He was a beast. And I knew that Brock was going to be a big, huge star. You know, he beat The Rock for the world championship. You know, he was on fire. And we didn't need much of a buildup. You just put Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, and you have a main event at WrestleMania. So I don't think we really need to spend a lot of time wrestling each other. I think it was better that we stayed away from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, speaking of you and Brock, Triple H is hurt, so he's unable to go for a Minneapolis show. He's unable to go at Madison Square Garden. So guess who they call? That's right, your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle.
Reliable.
That's right. And I'm curious when you're notified that you need to get your ass to these shows, Kurt Angle. And do you get a little bit of extra bump in pay or anything special for?
Yes, we did, and I wouldn't have done it.
I mean, it was last minute.
Yeah. But you know what? When you're main evented at Madison Square Garden, that's a good payday. So I'll take it every day of the week. Yeah,
you're like, I'll be on the Raw tour all day long if we're going to MSG.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep, you're right.
Brock was scheduled to face Hunter on both shows. So instead, they have you wrestle him after he goes through a gauntlet of Haas and Benjamin. But having Brock defeat Shelton in Minneapolis, I mean, think about that, right? That had to be a big deal for both these guys, considering their ties to Minnesota, right?
Oh, you know, that's where they went to college. You know, they were known as heroes in that city. It was a huge opportunity and a huge moment for both of them. And they both wrestled extremely well. And, you know, I felt a little bit bad for Shelton because, you know, he had to take the L. But, you know, those two guys being able to go home into their hometown where they went to college and being able to perform in front of those fans that cheered for them for years in college, that was a great thing.
Nah, it had to be a feel-good moment for those guys. And then you and Brock, you guys only go a few minutes considering, you know, hey, he'd already wrestled twice. We talked about the gauntlet, but I'm assuming they did that knowing, hey, listen, fans are going to get it all at WrestleMania. We don't want these two touching a whole lot.
But like I said before, the good example is Brock gave Shelton and Charlie a rub by them wrestling him. So when you're wrestling people that are high status, people start thinking of you as being high status. And that's how they started thinking of Charlie and Shelton because of that, because of the rub. So this was good for everybody.